bliss.
So right, so your support is to empower them and the families to kind of get that passion out despite
That's
the
right.
challenges that it may feel, correct?
That's right, exactly. So it's important to expose young adults to different experiences so they can then find and ultimately follow their bliss. Some of the young adults in the program already have a level of interest in a certain area and others don't. So it's about, again, balance and sharing those experiences and helping one another to not be afraid to go out there and kind of learn more and eventually build skills and find their passion.
Okay. I met a young boy here before the show. He was talking about his poem that he wrote.
Yes.
His name's Andrew, right?
Yes.
Andrew, and you have his poem.
Yes.
And if you can share that, it's about trees, and it's a kind of a really simple look at what we do to trees, and makes you take a step back that there are feelings behind people that when trees aren't there anymore, and I think Andrew eloquently captured that. So you want to read that?
Yes, sure. I'm going to read that poem for you right now. We all know trees provide oxygen and take up space, but what value does a tree have? Well, a tree has many values than just making valuable oxygen. A simple tree sitting there motionless, performing photosynthesis with their leaves, converting sunlight to CO2 into oxygen. A simple tree that took years to grow and didn't harm a thing. A tree that provides a home for birds and squirrels. A thing that sits there motionless, shaking in the wind. In the summer it's green, in the winter it's bare, in the fall it's an artist's palette. And in the spring it can be a thick bush of beautiful flowers. But what does it have in terms of value for humans other than not being there and turned into wood or paper? A tree has a lot of value to us. A tree provides us with shade in the summer, protects our bare skin from the burn of the sun. A tree provides shelter from the rain. It can also be a place to sleep under. A tree can be a place to hang a swing or a rope to swing from. A tree can be a place to have a picnic under or just relax under. A tree can be a beautiful addition to your yard, making your yard a lot cooler in the summer. And what do we want from trees? We want the wood and only the wood. We tear down years of growth in a matter of seconds, or even slowly chopping it limb by limb. And what do we get out of it? Wood chips that your kids get splinters from in the playground. Paper that just eventually gets tossed away. Wood that we build on the graves of trees. And when we cut down a tree, what do most of us do? We just leave that spot empty. A place empty of animals, a place empty of fun, a place empty of relaxation, a place empty of shade. And what fills that place? That place fills with scorching sun, pavement, or bare grass, a place where no one wants to stay for long. A place filled with the bareness of nothing, no one, nothing, but the remembered grave of a simple, motionless, giving tree.
That's amazing. Give it up for Andrew there. And Andrew just joined us. Andrew, I asked you before, how long did it take you to write that?
It took me about maybe 15 to 20 minutes to a half hour.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. I would have thought at least it took you an hour, but you went right through that, got right to the heart of it. You like to write poetry and talk about different things that are in your mind?
I do. I have a few poems. So I'm basically, Christine actually has a few questions.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Chris.
I was speaking with Andrew earlier today, and
Okay.
and I was interested in knowing why he wrote this poem.
I wrote this poem because basically I wanted to raise awareness about why people cut down trees and what connections do they have with people.
Mm-hmm. And then also I was wondering if you wanted to provide any details on your inspiration for writing the poem. What is it that connected you with trees?
One day this summer I actually saw a tree at my grandmother's house across the street being cut down by a few neighbors that were moving in. I did not know if this tree was basically it was sick or it was dying, but if it was a perfectly healthy tree, why would they cut that down?
Mm-hmm. Right. That's true. And it happens all the time here on Long Island with the amount of development that goes on. That's not a subject you want to get me on because I can go on for that.
Right, I know you too, Christine, but for how old are you, Andrew?
16.
16. For taking that in and really affecting you, there's not too many 16-year-olds that feel that way, when they might feel that way, but they haven't thought about it, but to express it and to write something about it It's amazing. I really I'm privileged to hear you speak that today, because I think Long Island, as Christine just said, we take it for granted, trees, and they're wiped out, and here you wrote a whole poem on how it affects you and affects society. So thank you.
And can I share one thing?
Sure, go right ahead.
Basically, if you ever want to read any more of the poems, I'll be uploading a few poems, or basically posting them. I have my own website. It's www.supershermantanker.com/WP for the blog. And I also have my own YouTube channel, which if you just go on YouTube and search it up, it's PC Pegasus, P.C.Pegasus.
Wonderful.
Great.
And
Where do you find
Andrew-
everybody? They all got channels and websites and all that.
Tech savvy.
Andrew,
Wow, it's amazing. Chris, I'm going to
Yes.
honor you in the work that you do. Doctor, real quick, you had something?
I just want to say to Andrew that he paid me $1 million. I couldn't write a poem, so I have a lot of respect for you. This is amazing. And I wanted to ask Chris, how did this program start historically, just very briefly? How did you come to this? Such an incredible program.
Right. Well, to me, young adults are the next stewards of the earth. So we